Welcome to 5 Minutes to Victory. Hello, I'm Dr. Yvette Rice, and I'm here to share some strategic and inspirational information that will bring change into your life, that will help you pursue your purposes as you go forth in the marketplace. And before I get started real quick, if you have not followed our page, please do so. And if this inspiration is 5 minutes to victory is inspirational or a blessing to you, please share it with someone else today. We are so glad to see you out there. I know you're there. Hello, and welcome, and welcome, and welcome. Just go ahead and share with someone right now and let them know that 5 minutes to victory is going forth. So, we're at the end of the year. I keep talking about December. Well, it's the 12th month of the year, and we have time to look back and begin to reflect on what has transpired over the last 11 months. And as I was preparing for today, I started thinking about what happened in my life in the last 12 months relative to me progressing forward, relative to my business, the marketplace, the goals I had set, the goals that I had written down from last year. And I celebrated those goals that I achieved. I rejoiced over them. I was excited about them. And then I began to contemplate those goals that I didn't meet. And I started to think about, in order to achieve those goals, something had to change. So I began to wonder what happened from last year to this year. What was it that may have deterred or caused situations not to happen as I planned? And it came to me three thoughts, and I want to share them with you today. Our victory thought for the day is the D factor of change. And the D factor of change from Yvette's mindset is define, develop, and detour. So let's think about it. When we begin to think about change, we define, the Oxford Dictionary defines change as the act or instance of making or becoming different. So in order to change something, something has to be different from what we've done before. When we think about change, why is change needed? It's because we want different results. Because the way we did it may not have achieved the results we wanted, so we need to make some changes. I always tell myself, same actions, same results. If we want different results, we have to change. So let's talk about those D factors. First of all, define. We need to define the results that we want to achieve. So that goal that I didn't meet and I want to achieve, I need to define it. I need to write it down. Remember, don't just think it, ink it. Then we need to develop a strategic plan of action. That's our develop. A strategic plan of action to obtain the results that we really want. In our books, Teams, Leaders, and Change, Accelerating Women in Leadership, we talked about conducting a GAP analysis. And what we did was we did a reverse planning process where we wrote down what we wanted to achieve. And that is our what it should be. And we wrote down what it is, or our present state. And then we began to backtrack from what we wanted to achieve to where we were right now, and what differences we needed to make, or the changes we needed to make to get us to that point B. It's the same way in our lives, relative to the marketplace and in where our goals, what our goals are, and what we're trying to set for the upcoming year. In 2020, and during 2020, all of us were forced to make changes because of the COVID pandemic. What I mean is, we had to make changes. We had to change the way we operated our lives, and we also had to change the way we conducted ourselves in the marketplace. That was a forced change. Some of us were successful in that period because we didn't fight the change. We didn't detour. We detoured from anything that would hold us from making the change. That's our third D. You have to detour your mindset, that old antiquated thoughts, those things that we've done in the past. They didn't work in the past. What makes us think they're going to work in the future? We have to let those things go. So when I'm talking about change, I'm talking about that D factor of defining, developing, and detouring from old, antiquated actions, thoughts, and ideas. I cannot believe it. Those 5 minutes are already up. But I want you to put in the chat things that you want to change for 2024. Think about it. You want to develop, write it down. You want to define, write it down. You want to develop new ways to do things, and you want to detour from old, antiquated thoughts. Ooh, I'm rushing. See you later. Have a great Monday.